Nice to have you back with me, you guys. I love being able to share my information with you. My name is Mark Hulsey. I've been in this business of real estate for such a long time. It's good to be in this position where I can share some information with you. Hey, our channel, Results in Real Estate, we cover the gamut from the very beginner all the way to the most advanced. We work with very advanced level investment, commercial investment real estate. So listen, I can take you from should I get my real estate license to what is discounted cash flow. We really do cover the gamut. What do I want to talk about today? Today, I want to give you a couple minutes on rent control. Now, here's a hot topic, right? Oh my goodness, across the country, you name it, cities are talking about rent control. I just read a headline, I think yesterday, about rent control in Florida because there's a market where actually we're also licensed in Florida. Talk about a hot market, people saying, I can't afford to rent, I can't afford to buy, I can't afford anything because this market is out of control. So let's talk about rent control. So here, I happen to be sitting in St. Paul, Minnesota. I bounce around a pretty fair amount, but in St. Paul, they just enacted rent control. And oh my goodness, we got people on both sides of the fence that are up in arms. We've got people saying, we need it bad, we need it right now. Affordability is gone. What are we going to do? We must get this under control. And then we have landlords, many of whom are mom and pop landlords. I don't know if you guys know this, but that's who makes up most of the housing out there is owners are mom and pop landlords. I'm a mom and pop landlord. My wife and I own a little bit of investment real estate. Not a lot, we own a little bit. We have for, 30 years. We are your typical landlords. When a municipality comes along and says, you can't raise your rents, or you can only raise your rents by 3% per year, but inflation is 7.5%, and my taxes are going up 12%, and you look at these numbers, you go, gosh, is this fair? Now, landlords don't want to see tenants not afford to live in a particular unit. You got to understand this. I think sometimes there might be a misconception that, landlords, they just want to get all the money they can. No. We want good tenants. We want good tenants to be in our buildings, in our units for a very long time. It is tough out there for tenants right now, you guys. I know this because if we put an ad out for a studio, I look at the number of applications coming in, and we have studios that are very affordable, and that's hard to find. So when we put an ad out for an affordable studio, so guys, I'm talking about a studio that might be under $700, and we have applicants like you wouldn't believe. Why? Because it's so difficult to find anything affordable in the marketplace. I've got adult children who are going out there saying, how in the world can I afford anything out there? So this is a real problem. It's a true crisis. I think, again, as we're looking at solutions, we just need to say, what can rent control do for us? Listen, when you're controlling the rents and you're controlling the income, what might landlords do? Might they cut back on some capital improvements? Maybe that carpet's not going to be replaced in the hallway. Maybe that roof won't get fixed as quickly. Now, again, that might sound a little bit crazy, but we have to find a good balance here. The impact of rent control can be significant. Now, I don't have all the answers, so I am not about to sit here and say I'm the ultimate urban planner on affordable housing and I've got all the answers. Here's what I can tell you. We're very active commercial investment brokers. And as we watch what's going on in the marketplace, that's what's really interesting. When you're an investor and you look at a 10-unit building and you're running the numbers against the rent roll, the income and expense, this is our everyday world. We are investment brokers. It's what we do. And you run these numbers and you say, oh my goodness, I cannot increase rents any more than X. So let me give you, for instance, there's a lot of us landlords, when we keep a tenant in place, we don't raise the rent very much. Believe it or not, this is very, very common. When we go in to sell a building, we hear it all the time from owners saying, Mark, I'm below market rents. I have not raised my rents as much as the market will bear. And so it's really critical to know that, because let's say you're going and taking that apartment building to market, but those rents are actually sitting at 20% below market right now because those tenants have been in there for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, sometimes even much longer than that. The next investor can't bring those up to market. They can't bring it up to market because the law says you cannot increase the rent any more than 3%. That is such an interesting dynamic from an investment point of view. So what happens? I think I'll pass. I think I won't buy that building. I can't buy that building. The numbers don't work. And guys, you know I've talked about cap rates, I talk about debt service coverage ratio, cash flow, you name it. We cover all of the main investment benchmarks within commercial investment real estate, or even residential investment real estate for that matter. So it's interesting as we watch all this play out. In fact, just yesterday here in our market, I think our mayor came out and said, listen, we're going to waive the idea of rent control for all new construction. You know why, you guys? Because the developers, they pulled the plug. We had multiple projects across our metro within our city of St. Paul, and the developers came along and said, oh, if you're going to enact rent control, we can no longer do this project. These are projects that are tens and tens of millions of dollars to provide more housing for our community that the community desperately needs. So listen, it's an interesting topic. It's something that everybody needs to think through. We need to be open-minded from all sides of the table on this and really understand the dynamics of it, because we want to see affordability for tenants big time. At the same time, we need to be careful anytime government comes in and starts mandating some of these rules on what should be an open and free commerce basis. I mean, I can't imagine, if somebody said, listen, I'm going to put a cap on how much that bicycle or how much that head of lettuce can increase in price day over day. They don't do it there. So I know that might not be the best example, but you get my point, right? So listen, I hope this is something that we can all think about, we can talk about and figure out some decent solutions. I hope our government will really think through this and we can get some real masterminds to solve this for everybody. I'm glad you're with me. Listen, I hope you'll stick with me. Results in Real Estate is the channel. Resultscommercial.com is the website. Check us out, drop me a note. If I can help you in any way, that's what I'm here to do. Thanks for being with me.